Hi, my name is Jolanda Blackwell, and I am your student's sixth grade science teacher. Just a little bit about my background. This is my second career. My first one was 15 years in healthcare administration at UC Davis Medical Center. I have now been a teacher for 13 years, all in the Davis School District. Most recently at Harper Junior High School, teaching ninth grade biology and earth science. I'm very excited to be here. My goal is to help students develop an appreciation for science and an appreciation for this amazing planet. In addition to focusing on engaging in scientific and engineering, science and engineering practices, we also have some things we're going to be covering, topics such as energy transfer, Earth's weather and climate, and cells and systems. I'm also working closely with Mary Graves, with whom I'm very excited to work with. She's teaching 4th and 5th grade science, and we have some plans in mind for the spring. Something along the lines of a science fair, but a little different take on it. So watch out for news about that in the coming months. A few things I thought I would answer, or questions I anticipate. How does my student access things or know how things are organized? We've already gone over the course syllabus, Canvas course. I try to keep it simple, but it is very similar to what we used at Harper last year. We try to standardize things a little bit. The weekly agenda will always be on the home page, and everywhere you see colored highlight, that is a link that students can access. Sometimes we'll access it in class. Sometimes they'll get hard copies. For example, Canvas scavenger hunt. Students had the opportunity in one of my classes to turn it online or do a paper copy. Other ways for organization, I will start trying to remember, it's new for me, to send out weekly announcements just to keep everybody in the loop. Those will go out through Canvas. So if you haven't already, I highly recommend you sign up as an observer on your student's account. That's especially important as they transition to the junior high schools. Going from one teacher to two, like they are this year, is relatively easy, but we'll talk a lot about how to stay organized for going from one teacher to 6 or 7, and that often needs some parental or family or adult support. So signing up as an observer on the account is awesome. I did that for my kids before they graduated. Grades, nothing's loaded yet. We'll talk about the grading scheme for this class in a moment. And you'll start to see modules get added. And those modules, for the most part, will be weekly agendas, very similar to what you saw on the home page. But students can go back to previous ones if they missed, if they want to look back. And then we'll also have some projects that will also be entered in modules. Our course syllabus has the course description that I went over. Here are the science and engineering practices. Our course is aligned with the next generation science standards. And here are our course goals. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go over every single one of them. The students read through them in class, or we went over a few of them, but I showed them where they can get access to it. Grading will be mastery-based grading. That's coming through our district this year. It's a more equitable grading system based on how they're doing towards meeting the learning goals instead of on such vague things like, oh, you were there, you participated, oh, you had a good day versus a bad day. So we're working on this. It's the first time I've done this type of mastery-based grading, so you may see several renditions of it as we work through it as a district. One of the things that really draws me to mastery-based grading, I've been long frustrated with the 0 to 100 grading scale, the percent scale, because usually a failing grade was either 50 or 60% of points earned or less. Well, that's assigning up to 60% of the scores as failure, and that's not very equitable. So we have a very different take on this. Homework in this class will be optional and will not be included in the course grade because I know how busy things are in other classes, and I know their teacher will be assigning them, work. I'd rather have students reading about science and doing those kind of things. If they want enrichment activities, I will definitely provide those as the course goes along. If you are absent, you can always find the work in the modules. If a student is out for an extended period of time, please feel free to make arrangements with me. I know that that may be more of a reality this year, depending upon circumstances. Students can follow along with the daily agenda and complete as much work as possible. If they're unable to complete it, just send me a message in Canvas. Students will hopefully know how to do that. We'll be practicing that. Here's the inbox. How does your student get help? First, I'm really encouraging them to learn academic independence. Encourage your student, if they have questions, to have them email me. Have them track their assignments. And if you see things are falling apart, then feel free to step in. I'm encouraging them to ask questions during class, not just with me, but we are we do work collaboratively. So, hey, did you check with your classmate? Because if they have to wait for, an adult to help them each and every time they have a question, they could be waiting a long time. We have classes of about 30. Students can send me a message in Canvas. They can come for help before school. Other than Thursdays when I have crosswalk duty, I tend to be there very early. If they're going to be out for an extended period of time for whatever reason, we can schedule Zoom conferences. I'm done with my other teaching commitment a little after 2:30, so after that it's my prep time and I can conference. If you as a parent want to get a hold of me and you have an Observer account, I believe you can send me an email through an inbox. However, in the course syllabus, jblackwell@djusd.net, you can send me an email. One other piece of information about this class. We have 2 teachers for the price of 1. We have a wonderful student teacher. The students have already met her. Her name is Mrs. Shauna Stevens. In her prior to pursuing teaching as a second career, she was an ecologist and is very familiar with our community. So I'm very fortunate to get the opportunity to work with her. Your students will be seeing her in class. We'll also have some math and science teaching interns from UC Davis. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, reach out. It's a little hard to stop by school right now. Adults, I think, we're restricting contacts on campus just until we can get through this next wave of this pandemic, which we will be talking about in class either next week or the following week. Have a great evening, and I look very much forward to working with your student this year. Bye-bye.